Who put the battery in Kimmy's bag? Like, ma'am, relax. Whoa. What's good, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 9, episode 14, Arrest and Relaxation. If you guys are brand new to the channel, or if you're back because you've been rocking with me all season, or even the past couple of episodes, and you enjoy it over here, it's very peaceful, very serene. We have a good time in the comments. I think we do, at least. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, okay? Let me get like 100 of y'all to just hit that subscribe button. Let's try to get like, I don't know, 600 or 700 likes on the video, because like the numbers are there, so the likes could be, and I don't have to tell y'all to comment because y'all do, okay? Let's make sure we stay respectful in the comments, because our motto over here for this show is we're on everybody's side and nobody's side, because I don't like none of these people, okay? So let's get started. Before we even talk about the reunion, let's talk about Melody quitting the show. So a couple of days ago, word came out that Melody has left the show. She issued a statement. I think she was in another content creator's chat, and she kind of broke the news herself. So I think it's time. It's been time, right? I know a lot of people have the argument, the conversation that why should Melody leave the show that she created, that she pitched? I know y'all feel very loosely about she created it, but why should she leave the show that she pitched and is probably like her biggest moneymaker? It's not her soul. But I kind of feel like at this point, especially after watching the reunion, when the opening package was like her and Martell's marriage and then the downfall, like, why sit in trauma? Is the check worth it? I don't think it is, but why sit in trauma? So kudos to Melody. I think that she will go on to do great things in her level of success, because success is different for everybody. But I think it was time for Melody to leave the show. The interesting thing now is going to be the rest of the cast, right? Because we saw today, or we saw last night, Kimmy doesn't want to talk about her and Maurice's issues and woes and whatever else you want to call it. We know that Marceau and Tisha don't want to talk about their life and their marriage and the ups and downs. What are y'all going to talk about when we can't default and redirect every argument to, well, Melody's not over Martell, or Martell is this, or Ariane is that? What are y'all going to talk about? That's what I'm excited to see. I feel like I'll be back next season. Yeah, I'll be back next season, but I'm very interested. Let me know what you guys think respectfully. Don't be calling that lady out her name, because it ain't necessary. What do you guys think about Melody leaving the show? Put that down below. All right. So let's get to the reunion. So Carlos has his showrunner Marcus. Okay. Marcus goes around and he's greeting everybody as usual. Why is there circus music playing? I was like, what in the round top is this? It made no sense to me, but we see that Carlos goes and talks to Destiny. Destiny is the reason that the show started late, because her dress got damaged somehow, and so her stylist was at a showroom, I guess, getting another dress. Girl, what? Was your dress not tailored to? Okay. So Carlos is looking like, we can start with or without you. Destiny really didn't need to be out on the main stage initially. Destiny could have came out during the sunny portion, but she said she had 20 minutes and her dress would be there. The set was tacky. I'm sorry. The set was tacky. All them velvet velour-esque couches that were different colors and different sizes and different everything. It was tacky, Carlos. What is going on? What is, like, why? Why were there gold and blue? Y'all didn't have no color theme? This looked aesthetically very displeasing, okay? So Kimmy comes out and she says she was ready to read some people. Okay. Nell felt like Carlos threw shade by calling them the seasoned couple. Look, let's call a spade a spade. Nell, you and Fletcher, y'all are of a certain age, right? I don't know why that is such an issue for her. You want to walk around talking about y'all been married the longest and y'all been married 30 years. Everybody else on that stage is in their 40s, so they couldn't have been married 30 years. Aren't they in like their early 40s? I feel like I'm the same age as like Tisha and all of them, right? Aren't they in their early 40s? You're old now, okay? You are a woman of a certain age. Your season says it's okay. Like, it's fine. Trust me. So Martell comes out. His suit was too tight. Before he even said it was too tight, I was like, too tight. Destiny's earring fell out. Carlos said that she loses earrings like she loses men. I said, ooh, yikes. And nobody clapped when Melody came out. I said, oh, wow. Like, y'all couldn't even. Nobody clapped when Mel came out. Cool. So they start off, for whatever reason, with a montage of Martel and Melody's marriage and then the kind of dissolution of it while weaving in Martel's issues with Marcel. See, this is why Martel shouldn't be on the show. Because Martel had no storyline. Because why would Martel's package start with a montage of him and Melody's marriage? It's like, this is why Melody needs to leave the show, because I feel like, how is she supposed to heal from her divorce when she has to literally sit in it and go through it? Oh my God. So Martel said it was difficult to see those moments with him and Melody because of what, they have built and their kids and what they still need to work on to get to a better place. Melody said it didn't make her sad at all because she saw victory, because they did include in the package, remember when she married herself or something like that? And when she changed her name from Holt back to Rogers, her maiden name. Martel made a face about that because, I would think that Martel will be on some The Name Stays Home, but he's not one of them people. So Melody said that she saw victory in reclaiming her independence, and she has no comments to or about Martel. To my understanding, now y'all know I don't keep up with these people outside of Saturday nights, 7 p.m. Central, for that 1 hour. But y'all have been saying that during this time that she had some type of order of protection where she wasn't going to film with Martel. Martel's not supposed to be talking to her, whatever the case. So Martel said that he wishes Marceau and Tisha the best, but he's not a jealous person. He's never been a jealous person. I would beg to differ. I think Martel is jealous of the fact that Marceau and Tisha are still together because, word on the curb, allegedly whatever, Marceau cheats on Tisha. And Martel wishes that he would have been able to continue to cheat on Melody and still be married. Martel is jealous of the fact that Marceau was still married, right? He probably is jealous of the fact that Scout is still an operational company and running and doing all that type of stuff. So Kimmi, so then Martel was like, but I'm not rooting for them. So Kimmi is like, I don't know why anybody on this stage would not want to root for anyone else. Kimmi, do you and Maurice honestly root for everybody? Because let's be real, I don't think y'all root for Mel. I don't. There's a very clear division, and a lot of it has been Melody separated herself, but I don't think everybody on that stage roots for anybody else. I think y'all are all out for self. That's what I think. So Tisha was like, well, look, from season 1, Martel has been trying to ruin us by sending stuff to the bloggers. Martel said, you scared of Melody because Melody is the one that's been doing that. Do I think Tisha is scared of Melody? No. Okay, I don't. Do I think that Tisha kind of toes a line because she does not know what Melody might know about her marriage and about Marceau? Yes. But I don't think it's a matter of, oh, I'm scared of her. I think it's a matter of, I'm going to go along to get along because I don't want to be even more embarrassed by my marriage than I have been already on this show. That's what I think, at least. Just my opinion. So Tisha was like, you are feeding women information. You did it with Mel and you did it with your other baby mama. I'm like, damn, Ariane, they don't even say your name. They don't even say your name, sis. So Marceau said that He originally would not think that Martell is jealous of him. But then Martell starts talking about Marceau didn't finish the hotel. Tisha is like, didn't you hire Martell to finish the hotel? And he didn't, so then Marceau had to finish it. And Marceau was like, yeah, even though I paid him for it. Look, my thing with this is, whenever it comes to the business side of this show, we are never going to get a very clear answer. All we know for fact is that the Holtz and the Scotts came together and formed Scout. We know that the Holtz at some point left the company and the Scotts kept Scout. That's all we know. About who hired who recently to do this and that and all that other type of stuff, we will never get a true answer, because I think that they have too much dirt on each other financially and business-wise that nobody wants to blow up anybody else's spot. So we never get a real answer about that. So there's that. So Martell said, look, I have always asked Marceau to stop making jokes about my infidelity. Marceau said that, well, look, when we were in the cabin, you said to stop. I apologized. I shook your hand and I course corrected and changed my behavior. I stopped. However, I lost respect for you when, you threatened your wife with revenge P. Now, I personally think, just out of respect for Melody, even if you don't like her as a person, but out of respect for her just as a woman, this conversation shouldn't have happened. It doesn't matter if it was Tisha. It doesn't matter if it's Kimmy, if it's Destiny. Rehashing this woman's ex-husband threatening her with revenge P while they're going through an ongoing case with this should not have been rehashed. Much the same way that I think the conversation about how Martell was saying that Tisha was sleeping with all these men and all this stuff, and she said it was in college, that also should not be rehashed in parts 2 or 3. Just like, I guess my thing is, we see why Carlos is losing so many of his cast, because you don't respect their mental health, right? And I've seen people say that, these people are on TV, whatever the case, but I don't what is the purpose of rehashing this at this moment? But I guess. So Martell asks Marceau, has he seen the video? And it's like, because it doesn't exist. Martell is very, very determined to sit in this lie. And if that's what you want to do, sit in the lie. Martell is like, so where's the tape? Where's the tape? Did you see it? Marceau said, well, what kind of man would I be with daughters and with a wife to have a friend that is threatening to release this video? Well, Marceau, I can tell you what type of man you are. You are the type of man that did not know that your son had a nut allergy. You are the type of man that did not want your wife to work. You are the type of man that does not believe that women are equal to men. You are the type of man that has a wife that also does have daughters that refused to respect your wife in the capacity that when she wanted to go to work, when she wanted to go back to school, when she wanted to jumpstart a career, you didn't want her to do that. You are also the type of man that is married, that has daughters, that disrespected your wife by taking a trip to another continent. Not just country, but another continent with no access to her. Didn't talk to her, doing anything. You are the type of man that has daughters that made your wife sit next to you while Martell called her slow and stupid. But I guess, I guess that doesn't matter. You want to put your foot down now. Okay. I guess. So Melody said that she won't sit up here on this stage and let the narrative be spun that the incident did not happen. So then we get Detective Carlos. And Carlos is like, so Martell, did you get arrested? Martell said, yeah, I did. I sent a picture to Melody and yeah, I did it. So Martell finally admits what was in the text message. And like, we've all seen the message and heard the message by now, right? So he sent that message and he's like, yeah, and I told her, leave me alone. And basically it was a threat with that picture attached. Now, anybody with the smallest bit of common sense, we know what that threat was. It was basically saying, stop messing with me, leave me alone, or I'm going to release this. Because why else would you include that specific picture? So Martell is like, I don't think what I did was bad. And in my mind, I'm like, why get upset about this, right? I can get on here and rant and scream and cuss Martell out, but what is the point? Because Martell knows what he's doing is wrong. He knows what he's doing is wrong, but he's trying to gaslight Melody and he's trying to gaslight Carlos, right? And only the intelligent adjacent, shout out to Forest Rocks, only the intelligent adjacent would feel that this is not bad. So Marceau is now saying that Martell was trying to get other guys to send out this picture like it was Melody providing the fellatio to them. And Martell was like, that's not true. No, Martell was like, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. Melody told y'all that. And Melody was like, no, I didn't. And then Tisha was like, no, that didn't come from Melody. So Martell is saying that he was not found guilty. Melody said, you pled guilty. Martell was like, yeah, but tell them why. Because you did it. You pled guilty because you did it. So he then goes on to say that Melody is horrible and pathetic, and then they cut to commercial. During this commercial break, or this break on stage, we get two different scenes running kind of juxtaposition to each other, where the showrunner is talking to Martell, who is saying that he pled guilty in a lower court so that a higher court would hear it, and Melody knows that. And Melody should have just explained it that way, but she's not explaining it. Meanwhile, over with Scott 1.0, Tisha and Marceau, they are saying that, yeah, Martell was sending this picture out trying to get other people to do it, and it was brought to them. So now we have to call the timeout, right? Because Marceau, you just said, what type of man would I be to kind of be cool with somebody that does that? But at the same token, you knew what was going on. Why wouldn't you tell Melody? That's what I don't understand about this entire group of people. I don't understand it. So you know that her husband is kind of threatening revenge P on her. You know what he's doing. But instead of you going to her just as a human to a human, you choose not to. But now that Martell has started digging in y'all asses about different things, now he's a despicable, horrendous person. He's been this way. Y'all sat and watched this man torture, all but torture, his wife the past 5 years. But that was okay, and y'all made jokes about it, and Tisha was throwing it in her face. But now that he has called Tisha slow and, insinuated that she, was popping it for P with everybody, now he's despicable, I guess. So we get back, and Carlos is now talking to Maurice. He said, hey, Maurice, you have always been seen as level-headed and the voice of reason. And I'm like, by who? By who? So Maurice is getting ready to basically lie his way through this entire arrest that he had. So let's get to this segment here. So Maurice said that a cop suspected him of something and he was arrested for it. And that's when he was arrested with the DUI. Now, we do know that present day, y'all told me a couple episodes ago that the case was thrown out and that he doesn't have the DUI on his record, okay? So Maurice said that it was true that he did indeed hit a pole. I said, okay. He hit a pole. He would not answer any questions regarding the details about him either taking or refusing a breathalyzer. He said, hey, that's all public record. You can go pull those records up, which you can. He then goes on to say that it was hard to be convicted by the cast because we all know that in a court of public opinion, you are guilty until proven innocent, even though in the court of law, you are innocent until proven guilty. Kimmi is like, well, how many people care to see if he was okay? And I'm like, Kimmi, he was clearly okay because y'all were at Black literally hours after he got out partying with bottles. You know what I mean? So if I hear that a friend got pulled over for a DUI and that person was arrested, and then I get on Instagram a couple hours later and they up there with bottles saying free Reese, yeah, I'm gonna assume you're okay too. I don't need to reach out to you because you're perfectly fine. But that's just me. So Carlos then said, so where were you when you left Black? So then we get into this very roundabout way of Kimmy and Maurice wanting to avoid accountability. It's a very straightforward question, right? Where did you go when you left Black? All he had to say was, I drove home. I was traveling. And I'm like, this is why it's like, this is why I really don't care for Maurice and Kimmy. And it's because, just answer the question. I don't think people realize how suspicious they look when they talk in circles like this, right? So Carlos was like, were you alone in the car? Was Kimmy the last woman you saw? Kimmy is like, how you know that I wasn't? Yes, I was in the car. Yes, we were together. Kimmy was like, how you know I went straight home after I left Black? So where did you go, Kimmy? I made a stop. And my thing is, y'all are doing stuff like this. Maurice obviously coached Kimmy on what to say, but y'all just look stupid. Y'all look stupid. It's not giving what y'all thought it was gonna give. It looks and sounds stupid. So Kimmy said that she stopped at the office. Maurice was like, I made the stop with her. So here's the thing. Y'all went to Black. Y'all were at Black. Y'all left. Y'all made a stop at the office. Y'all were in two separate cars. As y'all were driving home, Kimmy went home. Maurice got arrested. That doesn't make sense. So because it doesn't make sense for Kimmy to not wonder where he was. Wasn't he coming straight home with you? That's why it doesn't make sense. But when you do too much talking, trying to lie and trying to be a smartass, it shows how the holes are in the story, right? So then Kimmy is saying that she wasn't worried about why he wasn't in bed with her. Yes, you were, because you said it in the episode. So now Kimmy is saying, well, it's not unusual for him to not be in the bed at midnight. Girl, why? Y'all are married. What? You look stupid, Kimmy. So Carlos goes on to ask if Kimmy thinks that Maurice is cheating. And Kimmy said, no, but I don't put it past anybody. And she has maintained that stance for years. So the lie is that he got pulled over after they both stopped at the office. It doesn't make sense. It honestly and truly doesn't make sense. Because if y'all are leaving, y'all left Black, y'all both went to make a stop at the office to do whatever, and then y'all are both headed home. I would think, right, if I'm Kimmy and I get home, I would think after maybe half hour, where the fuck are you? I would be worried from that moment. But for Kimmy to think that it's okay, you see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. Unless Kimmy is saying that she left him at the office to do whatever and then she went home, but it still doesn't make sense that you weren't worried until the next morning. You see what I'm saying? But I guess. So Maurice said it was unfortunate to see Melody disparage his character. Maurice, your character has been disparaged since we found out that you were forcing your wife that was battling one of the most aggressive forms of breast cancer to still have sex. Because you needed it. Your character was disparaged when you made a comment about Kimmy not having hair when she was battling cancer. Your character has been disparaged since then. Your character has been disparaged since you allowed your ex-wife to disrespect Kimmy. Your character has been disparaged since we found out that you don't make your son do any chores around the house because you feel that that's what Kimmy should be doing. Your character was disparaged when your son doesn't pay attention or listen or follow what Kimmy tells him to do in her household, because that's her house y'all are living in, and you feel that that's something that she has to deal with. Your character has been disparaged when you had Kimmy dating you all these years, and then you finally decided to marry her and still didn't go on a honeymoon. What are we really talking about here? Melody didn't disparage your character. You did that yourself the past 5 years you've been on the show. So Melody then said, so then Maurice said that he could have done the same to her, but he didn't. So Melody said, look, I had the opportunity to give my opinion, which is what I did, which is what everybody on this cast did. However, time out. Melody, you ran with the rumor, right? It was more than just Melody saying, I'm disappointed, whatever the case. If Melody would have kept her opinion to solely talking about the DUI, that's one thing. But Melody, you made the decision, the choice, as you said. You made the choice to interject social media fodder. So let's stop playing, Mel. Let's stop. Do I think that disparaged Maurice's character? I don't. But let's not act like you weren't being messy, Melody, because you were. So she said that, this is what Maurice has done over the past 5 years. Maurice said, but he didn't do it to disparage her character. But Maurice, you have made a lot of jokes and you have laughed and made a lot of snide comments about her and Martell and their marriage. And then, Martell was saying that Melody wasn't giving him enough fellatio. And we have heard you make the jokes and laugh about that, though. That also could be seen as disparaging her character. So Melody said, look, good luck to you, and I wish you all the best in your court case, and that's fine. Maurice said, but this is an ongoing case, and my lawyer knows best, and I'm going to shut the F up and let my lawyer handle it. You done already outlined a bunch of stuff. You might as well keep talking about it. You've done enough talking already. All right. So Kimmi feels that it is exhausting that Melody keeps making implications and insinuations about everybody else's husband cheating, right? She feels a way about that. She feels that Melody is on this quest to find out if everybody is cheating, right? So Carlos said, well, look, there are rumors that Maurice had lipstick on his collar that was a different shade of lipstick that Kimmi wore. And they were looking at Melody. Melody said he didn't get that from me. I didn't say that. Now, I don't remember seeing that on social media, but I don't live in the LAMH hashtag either, so I don't know what was said. Melody said that if she did find out that Maurice was cheating, she would not tell Kimmi. So Maurice's side, is it because y'all aren't good friends? Well, Maurice, wasn't it the last reunion where you said that Melody and Kimmi weren't friends? Because you were trying to disparage her character at that point? So I don't get it. Melody said, well, no, we're friends. I think she's a good person. We are friends, but we are not that type of friends. I don't know. I feel like if one of my really good friends, I found out that her husband was cheating on her and I had actual factuals and I had irrefutable proof and all that type of stuff, would I take it to her? Yes. If it is just a friend that I feel like I have a working relationship with, I don't know if I would. I think in this case, should Melody? Yes. I think Melody should, but I can see why she wouldn't, because it's going to be looked at by Kimmi as, would Kimmi believe Melody? It should have been the next question. Because if you feel that Melody is out on a quest to prove that everybody's husband is cheating, no matter what Melody tells you, I don't think that Kimmi would, one, receive it or believe it. But that's just me. So Melody is like, how Kimmi said, well, I would want you to tell me and not go and walk around town and talk about it. Melody said, how often have you heard me make comments about you or Maurice? Now, Melody has made insinuations. She has hinted that all the men on there are cheating, but we haven't heard Melody really talk about Kimmi and Maurice specifically in that capacity, the way that she has Marcel. So Kimmi is like, well, you were doing this kind of talking. Melody said, look, I brought up the lips because it was a big topic on social media. So I just asked a question. Kimmi would say, well, I don't care about what popular social media. I said, girl, I think you missed the word in there. Talking too fast. You got excited. That's okay. So Kimmy said, well, it was popular, whatever you did to your butt. And I'm like, Kimmy, no. No, 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 no. Kimmy, this fell flat because Melody talking about what social media said in regard to an arrest, and you bringing up that she had a botched butt job, that was you taking a direct jab at her for whatever reason. It fell flat. It looked catty and like it just looked stupid, Kimmy. It didn't give whatever you thought it was going to give because Melody rolled straight over it. She didn't react to it. She didn't get hype about it. And you can tell that Kimmy wanted a bit more of a moment from it because Kimmy repeated it again. We want to talk about your bad butt job. And Melody kept going and talking about what the topic at hand. But Kimmy has proven to be a bird, kind of. You know what I mean? Kimmy has proven to be not a girl's girl. Kimmy has proven to be, I'ma stand by my man no matter how he embarrasses me, no matter how ridiculous I look. Cause that was dumb. That was dumb. What was the point in, like, I guess. So Kimmy, so Melody was like, it was just a little kiki moment. It wasn't that big of a deal. Kimmy is like, yeah, I can take kiki moments and I take them on the chin, but when I give it back, it's an issue. No one has made those moments and statements at you, Kimmy, more than your husband and your brother-in-law. Marceau and Maurice have made more statements, more kiki moments about Kimmy than anybody else on the stage. So for her to have such misdirected anger towards Melody is crazy. It's interesting. So then they talk about how, I guess, whenever Melody's feelings are hurt, they have these gatherings with her where they have to apologize. I believe that happens too. I do. I don't know why, but I 1,000% believe that does happen as well. And then Kimmy said that when she wanted to talk to Melody about Maurice, Melody didn't want to. Now this, I'm 1,010,000,000% on Melody's side. When Melody talked to Kimmy initially about the arrest, Kimmy didn't want to talk about it. So don't come and want to talk to me about it later. It fell flat for me, Kimmy. It just did. I just feel like, nah. I don't even know what to say about it, but it's just, I don't know. Melody making an offhanded comment or being messy. Let's call a spade a spade. Melody being messy and repeating something on social media that your husband had looked like he had lipstick on there, on his lips or on his collar or whatever, and then you flip it and say, well, you got a bad butt job. We didn't talk about that. Those two, one of these things is not like the other. Let me know what you guys thought about this reunion. I thought part one was good. It was decent. Again, we could have started without Destiny because she didn't even talk. But let me know what you thought, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.